we forgot to add this part in, and we're filming it later on, but what is your name and the name of your project?
My name is David Sierra, and my film title is Minecraft, Kidnapped, exclamation mark.
Ow.
Where's Liam?
Hello, Steven. English, please, sir.
Why are you in the chair?
I've become paralyzed since that jump, which I knocked you out of.
Who's he?
Abdul, my manservant. Be free, my child. We're here for the Cambridge question, Steve.
Oh, shucks. That's right. I have the questions on my LG G6, 64 gigabytes of storage and 4 gigabytes of VRAM. Let me pull it up real quick.
Abdul, paper, please. Very good. You will receive a pleasant surprise later on from your father.
By the way, why is it such a mess in here?
The last interviewee was a bit hectic.
Understood.
Time for the questions. Abdul, spin me. What conventions does your project challenge or use? What social groups or issues does it represent?
I know that one. I have it right here. We created an action film, and it fits in that genre almost perfectly. More than half of our film is spent on the action scene, and it includes sound effects, music, and a small amount of dialogue, which most action films are characterized by. We did try to challenge the norm by creating a main character who, although is confident, is incredibly nervous and fearful of his survival. Our film is representative of the kidnapping of a typical gamer's pet, and how they will go to great lengths to save it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, very well. Very good, Mr. Steven. It's now time for the second question. How does your video engage audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text?
Got the answer to that one too.
One second. Abdul, I'm quite thirsty. Fetch me something.
Phone sound.
As I was saying, our movie starts with a simple scene where the main character is waking up, but then surprises them with the terrible news that Minecraft Steven's pig has been kidnapped. This book is mainly used to explain the plot in a very concise way that doesn't drag on for too long, so there's more time for the action. The action is very intense, with epic music and loud clashing sound effects. These, along with all the damage both sides takes, make for a tense scene where the audience might really worry for Steven's loss. If we were to get this premiering in a theater, we would have to target small cinemas, which are indie films and small productions rather than big blockbuster hits. We would approach Illumination Animation, because although they have never done live action, I feel like our film fits best with their themes. Our work just coincides so well, and they would feel comfortable with Minecraft Kidnapped. Advertising would be constricted to YouTube channel because, it's free.
Very good, very good. I'm so proud.
Thank you.
I'm impressed, Mr. Steven. But now it's time for the hardest question yet.
I'm prepared.
How did your video production skills develop throughout this project? What? I require Mr. Fluff Abdul. Please retrieve him.
Well, you see, I learned a lot of different skills making this film, but the most interesting of them all was the acting. Making an action film required good positioning of the camera and very visible movements. When doing the choreography, it was really fun because instead of making something that looks more practical or realistic, you're going for what looks the coolest and draws the most attention. Another thing I learned was how to deal with the costumes. I acted as Minecraft Steven, meaning I had to keep the block hat on at all times. And I can say for sure that I was 85% blind or more the entire time. Moving and swinging with that thing on was challenging, but helpful to me personally. Because now, in the future, whenever I perform with Minecraft Steven, I'll be prepared. Editing was also very strenuous and time-consuming, as that's the thing that we had to learn the most to finish the project. Not only did we have to find and create each individual sound effect along with cool music to put into the fight, but we had to line up all the noises and subtitles at the perfect times. We edited the video for over 10 hours in total, and it really does show with the final product. Doing something like this really gives you a good idea on what you want to do and what parts of filming might push you away or pull you towards the career. I definitely have my preference on what side of the camera I want to be on.
Perfect. More or less last kind of question. How did you integrate technology into this project? Oh, one second. Abdul, I did not appreciate how you clapped without my permission. You're fired. Please leave the premises.
Wow, even I'm not that cool.
Leave your hat too. I require one later.
On set, we had a laptop ready to be used in case we wanted to see how things turned out early, which helped a bunch in the whole process because we had to film in a park the entire time. The most innovative thing we did, though, was definitely the subtitles. It's incredibly hilarious, but very original that we use subtitles to act as dialogue for the characters. We wanted the movie to take place in a simple world where each character only hums with a single syllable as their noise, and the subtitles allowed that to happen. It was especially good when we had the villain subtitles appear in Japanese. We did this in Adobe Premiere, which also led us to adding the sound effects and syncing them up perfectly. Once we were finished, probably my greatest accomplishment, publishing the video to YouTube. YouTube allowed us to get constructive criticism and let the public view our work free of charge. Sharing the perfection should be expected, and not doing so would be a disservice to the cinematic industry.
I miss Abdul. Abdul, you're rehired. Close the door.
Anything else?
Just one more question. Is this canon?